Hello everybody, it's Sarah, and if you're wondering what's up with the new camera angle, it's because today I wanted to do the How Well Do I Know My Books challenge that was created by Jessie the Reader. And for that, I don't want to constantly run out of the frame, so this is the angle we're working with today, which is also exciting because I think it's the first time I have properly shown what my bookshelves look like as a whole, although this only came here a few weeks ago, a few days ago, maybe last week I think, because this was standing on the other end of my room. Anyway, for those of you who don't know how the challenge works, basically I have two random numbers, one corresponding with a shelf and one corresponding with a book on the shelf. And then I have to answer a question about that book. It's really easy. If you don't really understand what's going on, you will understand soon enough, but I will also leave the original video, Jessie's video, in the description box down below, so go and check it out. And I had a small little problem with this challenge. Also, I'm sorry if the light is constantly changing, because currently there's a lot of clouds outside apparently. But anyway, I had a little problem with this video, and that was that I actually filmed it once already, but then I don't know, something is wrong with the file, I can't properly play it, so I have to film it again. Woohoo! And because I did not want to choose the same numbers, because of course now I know all the answers to the question already, and I also didn't want to go to Twitter again because I didn't really get enough numbers the first time as it is. I just have a random number generator here to give me the numbers as I go through the questions. And for shelves, I have 20 shelves that hold fiction books. A lot of other shelves just hold miscellaneous stuff, K-pop albums, non-fiction books. I also didn't count my manga shelves. And then I chose the number 25 for the books on the shelf, and I kind of had a bit of trouble choosing which number I should take, because as you can see, I have broader and thinner Billy bookshelves, because of course I have Billy IKEA bookshelves because I'm a basic ass booktuber. To be fair though, I had Billy bookshelves since I was about 10 years old, not these exact ones, but like at my mom's flat I had Billy bookshelves, and then when I moved here I bought them again. So yeah, I just really love them. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, I have broader and I have thinner shelves, so there's a pretty big variety of numbers of books on my shelves. I have shelves like this one where there's only like 5 books, and then I have shelves like this one down here where there's about 30 plus. And so I decided to choose the number 25 so that I can cover a big variety of shelves, and if I end up at like a smaller shelf, then I'm just gonna start counting from the front again. And yeah, that was it. That's a long intro, let's get right into the challenge. First question is, without looking, tell us what the book is about. And the numbers I got are 15 and 16. 16. So the book I got is Golden Fool by Robin Hobb, which is the second book in the Tawnyman trilogy, which is the third series in the realms of the Elderling series by Robin Hobb, obviously. And this second series again follows Fitz, just like the first one. And in this series, I believe he's called back to court again. And I don't know anymore. I'm not sure if I should give myself that point, but yeah, I think probably not, because I have absolutely no idea anymore what was going on. Next question with the numbers 9 and 11, without looking, what genre is this book? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. Everything else is coming with me. So it's the illustrated version of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. And do I really have to say which genre this is? Like, I think we all know. I'm not sure if it counts as urban fantasy, but it's definitely fantasy. It's middle grade, and yeah, it's Harry Potter. It's a genre of its own. Next, without looking, what is on the cover? And I have the numbers 6 and 12. And I have The Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas, which is the 6th book? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series. And there's this like, it's really ugly compared to the other ones where there's Selena Saradossian on the front. There's like this coat of arm looking thing on the front. So yeah, and it's like silverish bronze and it's like on a blue background. So yeah, see, coat of arms. It's a shield, but you know, it's close enough. Is it close enough? I'm not gonna count it. I'm like, if it's close at the end, I'm gonna count it, and if it isn't, then I'm not. Without looking, what is the main character's name? And I have 11 and 21. So this book is from my unread books bookshelf. So not a clue what it's about. Not a clue what the main character's name is. But it's The Earthstone by Diana L. Paxson, which is the 3rd book in the I don't know what it's called series. And Julian. The main character's name is Julian. It's a bit common for a fantasy series, no? Next, name a side character. 2 and 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9. I have no clue. It's The Sea Wolf by Jack London, and again, I can't even remember the main character's name anymore. But it's like Captain something is one of the side characters. Larson. That's the captain's name. Captain Larson. Anyway, no point for me. So far, I suck at this. Which is bad, because the last time I filmed it, I won 19-9. But, yeah. Whatever. Next is how many pages does this book have? Plus minus 25 pages. And I have the numbers 8 and 6. And I have Patricia Briggs, Crywolf, an Alpha and Omega novel. And it's again off of one of my unread bookshelves, but this time it doesn't really matter. However, like, it's thin. I'm going to say 327. Huh? 310. You can't see it because of the glare, but 310. I said 327, so that's 17 pages less, and I win this point. Next is what rating did I give this book, and redo if I have not read this book, and I can see that the numbers are 7 and 6, which means I can redo it right away because the 7th bookshelf, the bookshelf above, is also one of my unread books bookshelves. So let's redo this. 3 and 25. This is going to be interesting because that's my Anne Bishop bookshelf. I have The Shadow Queen, which is the 7th book in the Black Jewel series, my favorite series of all time. And I know I gave a couple of books 4 stars because I've kind of, when I give stars, I always also compare within a series. It's just not as good as my favorite books in the rest of the series. So I think I gave this 4 stars. Yes, I was right. You can't see again because of the glare. But I gave this 4 stars. So another point for me. Next question, without looking, where did this book take place? And the numbers are 9 and 6. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the 2nd book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. And it takes place in Hogwarts, which lies in Scotland, so Great Britain. So yeah, another point for me. Next question, without looking, what are the parents' names? And the numbers are 11 and 18. And if that was shelf 9, then shelf 11 is down there again. This is The Mortal Word by Genevieve Cogman, which is the last book or the latest book in the Invisible Library series. And the main character is Irene, and I'm pretty sure it's mentioned that her parents are also librarians, but I'm pretty sure their names are never mentioned. I'm gonna see if I can find something with a Google search though. Okay, yeah, I couldn't find any names, so I'm just gonna give myself this point and say that they are never named in the books, at least until book 2, which is how far I've read so far. And with that, I am ahead 1 point. It's 5 Me, and For the Bookshelf. Next are a few questions concerning hardcovers, of which I do not own that many because I way prefer paperbacks. However, what I decided to do is I'm just gonna take the numbers again and then take whichever hardcover is the next one on the shelf and choose that one. So the first one is Without Looking, what is the color of the book under the dust jacket? And the numbers are 4 and 4. So I didn't even have to count because there's only one hardcover with a dust jacket on that shelf anyway, and that is Magician's Apprentice by Trudy Canavan, which is the prequel to the Black Magician series by the same author. And I have read this not that long ago, about half a year ago probably, and I mostly read books hardcovers without their dust jacket on, so I still remember that this book is bright red. And see here, I was right. Then Without Looking, is there anything on the cover like under the dust jacket? And my numbers are 5 and 1. And again, I only had one hardcover on that shelf. It's The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi, and I do not think there's an embossing on this cover. I'm pretty sure there isn't, because it's already got like deckled edges, so it would be like overkill to emboss it, right? I should have remembered this. I should have remembered this, right? There's this beautiful Horus eye with the Eiffel Tower. I am so stupid. I am so stupid. Why? Why did... Okay, that's not a point for me. Next question, what is the color of the font on the hardback, so under the dust jacket? And the numbers are 2 and 13. It's His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, so the whole trilogy bind up. And I think this is gold, like the font. Yeah. Without Looking, do the chapters have titles or are just numbers? And I have the numbers 10 and 13.
7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
It's Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, and I think they're only numbered, the chapters. And it's numbers you can't see because of the glare again. It's like Roman numbers, but only numbers after all. Without Looking, does the cover have an award on it, like an award sticker or something like that? And it's 12 and 22. So that was 10.
11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
This book does not have an award sticker on it. And it doesn't. It's The Star der Wölfe by Laura Gallego Garcia. I don't know what the English name is, if it has been translated into English, because it's originally a Spanish author. Without Looking, is there a description or a summary on the back of the book? And the numbers are 7 and 19. This is Who Fears Death by Nnedi Okorafor, and I'm pretty sure this has a description on the back because I bought this on a whim, and I only buy books on a whim if they actually have descriptions on the back. Otherwise, I won't buy them. And yeah, there's a description on the back. I have yet to read this, but this book is set in a post-apocalyptic Africa, and I am really excited to get to it. Without Looking, are there any author blurbs on the front? And 1 and 22. It's The Jungle Book, an illustrated edition by Rudyard Kipling, and this does not have any author blurbs on the front, because, like, why would it? Honestly. Numbers 14 and 4 go with the question, without looking, is there an author photo in the book?
That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's A Feast for Crows by George R.R. Martin, the 4th book in the A Song of Ice and Fire series. And I don't think there's an author photo in there, because it's a mass market. Mass markets don't often have author photos, right? I failed. There's a picture. Next question, is the author using a pen name? With the numbers 4 and 5. So this is Warrior, which is the 2nd book in the Hydron Chronicles by Jennifer Fallon. And I'm like 99% sure she's not using a pen name, but I'm still gonna look it up. So Wikipedia doesn't tell me anything about a pen name, so that point goes to me again. Next, without looking, which POV is the book written in? And I have the numbers 17 and 25. This is A Lick of Frost by Laurel K. Hamilton again, but this is not a part of the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series, but of the Meredith Chantry Fae series. And I think it's the 5th or the 6th book, and all of Laurel K. Hamilton's books that I have read so far are written in the first person. Next question, without looking, are there any graphics in the book? And the numbers are 13 and 15. So 12 is over here, 13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
So now I have to remember whether or not the series has a map. But it's a YA fantasy series. I'm gonna go with the fact that it has a map, and otherwise there aren't any graphics in there. Yes! There's a map right here. And yeah, no other graphics. Next one, without looking, is there an epilogue in this book? And the numbers are 14 and 18. It's The Naming by Alison Croggon, which is the first book in the Books of Pelennor series, and I think this has an epilogue. Okay, no epilogue. I lost this point. After that is, of course, without looking, does this book have a prologue? And I have here Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, and I'm pretty sure this doesn't have a prologue. Classics don't often have a prologue, right? Yeah, no, there's a publisher's note, but there's no prologue. Next is, without looking, do the page numbers have any design, so like swirlies or something like that? And the numbers are 1 and 8. I have here Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, which is the first book in the Reckoners trilogy, and I don't think the numbers have any designs on them. Yeah, and I was right, there's no design here. Next question, is this book signed? Without looking again, of course, and the numbers are 1 and 23, and I don't even have to go see which book it is, because again, it's my Brandon Sanderson shelves and I only have a couple of classics over there. But anyway, I only have one signed book, and that is Aragon by Christopher Paolini, and that's nowhere near the shelf over there, but that's on that shelf here with all my Sarah J. Maas books and a lot of my other YA fantasy. So yeah, another point for me. Without looking, do the chapter headers have designs? And the numbers are 2 and 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So I have here the Word Cloud edition of Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. And I mean, normally, if I have like a special edition of a classic, I would say there is a chapter header design, but it's quite simple, so I don't think there is in this one. You can't see it. It's underlined. The chapter names are underlined, but no designs. 3 more questions to go. Without looking, are there acknowledgements in the front or in the back? And the numbers are 13 and 20.
12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Another Sarah J. Maas book, A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is the 3rd book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And I think the acknowledgements are in the back. Yes, acknowledgements right here. Love this. Second to last question, without looking, which year was this book published? And I already know I'm gonna fail this question no matter what, but the numbers are 20 and 25. So it's down here, the last shelf. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
And it's this little short story collection by Haruki Murakami. I do not know what the title of this particular one is in English, but in German it's Wie ich eines schönen Morgens im April das 100%ige Mädchen sah. And I can just take a shot in the dark. I'm gonna say 2007. 1993. This book is older than I am, so failed this one. And for the last question, let's hope I can hit this one out of the park and just win overall. I mean, I have already won, but let's still hope I'm really good at this one. It's When Did I Read This Book? And again, without looking. 1 and 20, so Brandon Sanderson, yay. It's Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm, and I am just like going to redo it again because these have been read to me since I was a little child in the originals. No Disney versions, all hacked off heels and toes and blood in the shoe and whatever. But I'm going to redo it because like there's really no way to say when I have read each of the fairy tales for the first time on my own. Okay, so I have 15-2, which is book 2 in the Wheel of Time series. And I'm trying to think if I read this one last year, so at the end of last year, so 2018, or if I read it at the beginning of this year. No, I read it last year. I'm gonna say 2018. And yeah, I read it November 2018, so I got the last point as well. And I'm confused because I have 1 point more here than there's questions. So either I have 20 points and the shelf has 8 points, or I have 19 points and the shelf has 9 points. Which, to be honest, does it really matter? Even if I hadn't given myself the few cheat points, I would still have won. Because I guess I just know my books that well. And I love winning. So I'm for some reason way too excited about that. But anyway, that was it for this video. I'm gonna have a long time in front of me editing it. But I still hope you enjoyed it. If you did it, leave me the link in the description box down below, because I actually really love watching these challenges, because I think you kind of get an overview over the books a person has and like over the reading taste of a person without watching a whole bookshelf tour, and also a little bit more random than just favorites videos. But anyway, again, if you enjoyed it, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and also subscribing. All the links to my social media are in the description box down below, so go and check those out, and I hope I'll see you very soon. Bye!